It's Ryan Reviews a Thing. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you about Silent Hill Downpour. It's the hip-hoppinest new Silent Hill game made by a developer in the Czech Republic, because that's going to work out good. So the game starts off, and you're this guy in prison named Murphy Pendleton. And then this bullshit prison guard guy named George Sewell is all like, "Hey Murphy, come with me to the showers." And Murphy's like, "Okay." And then the player's like, "Oh no, oh no." So you get down to the shower, and then there's this fat, ugly guy, and his name is Patrick Napier. And Murphy's like, "Remember me, fucker?" And then he beats the shit out of him and stabs him and pounds him with a hammer. And he kills him. And that's the hero of our tale, folks. So some time passes, and George shows up at your cell, and he tells you you're getting transferred to another prison for some reason. And you go to get on the bus that is going to take you to the other prison, and there's this hardcore cop lady, and her name is Cunningham. And remember that, because she's important. Her name is Cunningham, and she's like, "Hey Murphy, don't get on the bus. I hate you." And Murphy's like, "Fine, whatever." And then Cunningham's like, "Okay, get on the bus. I hate you." And Murphy's like, "I was gonna get on the bus." And then they get on the bus. And so the bus is driving along, and it passes by Silent Hill, which is this town where nothing bad ever happens, and there is no reason to assume anything bad will happen. Suddenly, to the surprise of fucking no one, bus veers off the road and crashes. And Murphy wakes up. He's like, "I'm free." So he starts to run away, and then Cunningham shows up, and she's like, "Not so fast, asshole. I hate you." And then she falls off a cliff. And Murphy's like, "Okay, cool." So Murphy starts heading into town, and suddenly there's this mailman. He's like, "What's up? My name's Howard. I don't really care that you're in a prison uniform and probably carrying like a fire axe by this point. And I'm going to act all mysterious because I clearly know what's going on here, but I am not going to tell you anything." And then he disappears, and Murphy's like, "All right." And then suddenly, monsters, shitty, lame monsters, and then suddenly Otherworld time. And then they're in the Otherworld, and it's all cool and creepy. And then there's this evil red ball thingy called the Void, and it's chasing after you. And Murphy's like, "This is so lame." So you make it to this place outside Silent Hill, and it's called the Devil's Pit. And it's just a big hole in the ground, basically. And you meet this guy called J.P. Sater, and he's like, "Silent Hill's that way. I'm gonna kill myself because it's my fault a bunch of kids are dead." And so he jumps off a cliff, and Murphy's like, "Alright, bye." And then some more totally scary stuff happens, and then Cunningham shows up, and she's like, "I survived somehow, asshole. Now I'm gonna kill you because I hate you." And then she doesn't, and Murphy's like, "Bye." So Murphy finally gets into Silent Hill. It's taking you like 2 hours to get into Silent Hill. And then the game immediately says, "Escape from Silent Hill, idiot." And the player's like, "Fuck." And then this guy on the radio named DJ Ricks, he's like, "Come to my studio. I got a way out of Silent Hill." And the player's like, "Well, that was pretty easy." Except it isn't, because of dumb monsters and dumb puzzles and dumb everything. And the player's like, "God, why?" And the game was like, "Because it's Silent Hill and it's punishing you." And during all this, you get some more backstory on Murphy and like why he was in prison. And it's because he stole a cop car, and also he had this son named Charlie, and his son was killed. And the player's like, "Wait a second, I bet that guy you killed at the very beginning of the game was a pedophile / murderer of your kid." And the game is like, "Shh, shh, 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 no, you're not supposed to figure that out for like another couple hours. Shut up, game, you suck." And then the prison guard's George Sewell, the guy who was like, "Come join me in the showers." He's obviously so fucking evil. And also there's this evil guy with a giant sledgehammer and a gas mask in Silent Hill. And occasionally he shows up and he's like killing things. And Murphy is all like, "I bet this guy has something to do with the plot." So you get to DJ Ricks, and he's like, "Yo, man, I have a boat, and it can get you out of Silent Hill." And Murphy's like, that is kind of dumb, actually. Why hasn't anyone done this before? And DJ Ricks is like, because it's Silent Hill, idiot! And then bam, Cunningham kicks on the door and she's like, I found you again and I'm totally unreasonable and I hate you. And then monsters show up and there's a big fight and Murphy ends up in the other world. And he sees this evil guy in a wheelchair and then the wheelchair guy just rolls away. And Murphy's like, I bet that guy has something to do with the plot too. So you get back to the real world. And this nun is like, please come to my church. And Murphy's like, I'm so sick of this bullshit. And the nun is like, I know, but I will totally explain everything. And so you go to the church, and the nun is like, yeah, you gotta find me. And so you're wandering around the church, and you meet this little kid in there, and he's just like, you are the boogeyman. And Murphy's like, no, I'm not the boogeyman. And the kid's like, yeah, you are the boogeyman. And then Murphy's like, okay, I'm not really that. And then the real boogeyman shows up, and he's the guy with the sledgehammer and the gas mask. And he shows up, and he murders that kid right in front of you, and he picks him up by the neck, and he strangles the shit out of him, and Murphy's like, fuck! So Murphy finds the nun, and she's like, now you gotta fight the boogeyman in this really, really just lame boss fight. And Murphy's like, fuck, whatever. So you fight the boogeyman, and it's super symbolic, because it's like you're fighting the evil and the guilt inside of you since you killed the guy who killed your kid, and then you killed Boogeyman, and for some reason he had the key to DJ Ricks' boat. And Murphy's like, this is pretty convenient. So you get on the boat, and you're driving away from Silent Hill, and you're like, the nightmare is finally over. And then fucking Cunningham shows up. She was on the boat somehow, and she's like, I am ridiculously intent on catching you. I hate you. And Murphy's like, just shoot me already. And Cunningham's like, alright. And she does! But the game isn't over yet. The nightmare is not over. So Murphy has this flashback where the evil prison guard, George Sewell, he's like, I'm gonna cause a prison riot so you can repay me, since I'm the one who let you kill the guy who killed your son. Now you have to kill someone for me. And then Murphy's like, dun dun dun. And you wake up and you're in a creepy Silent Hill prison. And there's more stupid monsters and more puzzle bullshit. And eventually you find the wheelchair guy again. Except now he is giant and stupid. And you get in a lame-ass boss fight with him where you have to disconnect his life support and kill him. And meanwhile, he is throwing chairs at you for some reason. And then fucking Cunningham shows up again and is like, how could you? You killed my father. I hate you. And then it turns out that the wheelchair guy was Cunningham's dad. And he was this nice guy in prison. He was a prison guard as well. And he was in the prison. And he's the guy that George Sewell made you kill the second time. He's the guy who's like, you gotta repay me by killing this guard because I hate him. Even though he was a really nice guy. And then Murphy's like, no! And he turns into the boogeyman! He turns into the guy with the sledgehammer and the gas mask. And he's like, gotta kill Cunningham. And Cunningham tries to kill you because she hates you. And then there are 6 different bullshit endings that you can get. The super good ending shows that Murphy didn't kill the nice guard or the guy who killed his kid. It was actually George Sewell, the bullshit prison guard, that did it. And this doesn't make any fucking sense, because if Murphy didn't do anything wrong, why is he in Silent Hill? But anyways, Cunningham and Murphy hug it out, and they escape Silent Hill. And then there's the regular good ending, which shows pretty much the same thing. And Cunningham and Murphy hug it out and get out of Silent Hill. And then later on, it shows Cunningham back in the prison, and she confronts George Sewell with a gun. And she's like, we need to talk. And then it cuts to credits, and you're like, haha, boned. And then the stupid ending is when Cunningham kills you when you're the boogeyman. And it has her waking up in prison. The prison at the very beginning of the game has her waking up there, except she is a prisoner now, and Murphy is a prison guard. And the player's like, what? And then the bad ending has Murphy kill the nice guard, and then he shoots himself in the head, and he wakes up in the creepy Silent Hill prison again, and like, I guess this has happened before, so apparently it's like in hell or something dumb. And the really bad ending has Murphy being executed by lethal injection because it turns out he killed his kid, the guy who supposedly killed his kid, and the nice prison guard. He's just a crazy murdering guy. And also you kill Cunningham. And then, there's the super deluxe ultra Star Force lame ass bullshit, which has a bunch of Silent Hill characters and monsters, and they're all throwing a surprise birthday party for Murphy. And Murphy's like, you guys. And Pyramid Head shows up, and he's got his big old sword, and he cuts the cake. And they're all like, ah, yay! And this ending makes the most sense because it's fucking retarded. So, in closing, fuck Silent Hill Downpour! It's Ryan Reviews a Thing.